Hello everyone, this is British StarCraft and welcome to yet another StarCraft cast, but this time we are mixing things up. We are stirring the kettle. No, the cauldron. Yes, the cauldron. We are stirring the cauldron whilst cackling with black hats on. And we are doing a 2v2 versus the Red Zerg Pro and the Blue Protoss Big Daddy. They will be fighting the Blue Terran Extane, who you may remember from a cast I did a while ago. Extane thinks it's a weird map. What races were there, he says. Big Daddy says, you too, in response to something I didn't read. But anyway, Extane's friend is Ivernus. Ivernus is the purple Protoss, purple Zerg even. So, the map is Shader in Depths. And I'll be honest, I've never actually played this before, so I don't exactly know what to expect, although does look like there is this a big area in the middle where you can just run troops right over, and I'm not quite sure what the function of these are. It's the Xel'Naga watchtowers, of course. So there are in fact two hidden Xel'Naga watchtowers on the map, as well as fairly long, as they go, fairly long distances between the two players. Another interesting thing to note on a 2v2 map is that the two bases between the two teams are not connected, so they are not in one base, they are two separate bases. Ivernus says pool, so that is, yeah, that's a below 10 pool, so that's Zerglings coming out from Pro, so this is going to be a 6 pool, I would assume, whereas our Protoss player is getting nothing spectacular, but it does look like Pro is going for a little bit of cheese. He clearly likes it. I'm not quite sure what he's going to be getting per se, but we do have 6 merry Zerglings hopping their way across the map like the small little insect things they really are. Just hopping away, and they are going to run into the other Zerg's base, and I don't think Ivernus has anything in stock to deal with this. He's getting out 4 more Zerglings, and I think he's putting up a spine crawler, I want to say, but I can't actually see it. So this is going to be some brutal probe death going down. There's the spine crawler. Now all the drones have moved, I can see it. But it does repel that 6 pool fairly well, whilst our Protoss player has not gone for anything ridiculously cheesy, and is going for a standard gateway to Cybernetics core. Pro is now going to be behind. That 6 pool having failed, he's going to have to be playing catch up, but he is still getting Zerglings out, so he's going for another 4. Ivernus was obviously forced to put up a spine crawler. I would be surprised. He should probably, no, he's not going to cancel it. Okay. Ivernus survived, and he's let a spine crawler go up, and he's got some Zerglings, so he should be okay against any future threat. I think it's the Protoss Extane really needs to be a bit more careful now, but as we see, he has 3 barracks up, which is very quick for 4 minutes into the game, and is getting out some Marines and mixing them into his mineral line, a 4th barracks. He is going 4 barracks, so some mass Marine play coming down from Extane here. All the while, this very boring Protoss down here hasn't really done anything. He's got 1 gate of Cybernetics and then a Twilight Council. So mass Zealot legs. So actually he's going to go for some blade cheese. It's not really cheese once it's past the 5 minutes mark, which this is definitely going to be. But it's still, you know, it's still there. Mass Zealot. But, I mean, seriously, Pro is really wanting to make this 6 pool work, and he has got now, what's that, 16 Zerglings marching up the map, and I reckon this time he may just go for the Terran player. Ivernus actually has a spine crawler, a queen, a roach warren, and some Zerglings, which should be able to deal with this. Let's see how many it is between them. 3 Zerglings against 16, plus a spine crawler and a queen. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out, but we do have a second spine crawler going up, but here are the less than 18 now Zerglings running into the base. The Queen is going to try and block the Zerglings from getting in, and in fact it has worked very well. They are going to have to hightail it out of there and go around the sides, although they may try and surround the spine crawler and prevent it from going up, but they are getting hacked to pieces in the meantime by the Queen's little pincer hands and this spine crawler's deadly little beak. And the Terran player has actually sent a massive ball of Marines to aid his friend, so that is some very nice cheese repelling play there. Pro has now got his evolution chamber setting up, and is getting banelings, which is interesting. All the while, Protoss Big Daddy seems to just be purely going on drones, so he hasn't actually got any army, so he's going for the economy. I would not be surprised to see an expansion going up, but he needs to be very careful, because Extain does now have 18 Marines. Wait, 17 Marines, which is now marching their merry way into the other guy's base, but he has gone so incredibly macro that he won't really have anything to do with this, and this is going to be some brutal drone slaughter if he chases these down, which he is now going to pull back, seeing just how much of a damage that can be. But the Baneling Nest is out, so he can now morph into some Banelings. I'd love to see some Zerglings change into some Banelings right now. That might be the only thing which can possibly save him. These Marines are doing a world of hurt. That is very nice to watch, Avernus. This is very tasty to watch, and even some Dark Templars from Big Daddy. So in fact, even though he didn't seem to be doing much, he does now have a shit ton of Dark Templars coming out, which is going to be the saving grace for Pro here. So it is Dark Templars and Zerglings for the left-hand team. There is a Dark Shrine, I did miss it, so that was a bit of a surprise for me too. So Dark Templars, and I'm still going to stick with Mass Zealot, although he does just, yeah, there we go, that's the Zealot that's coming out. And here we go again, he's still trying to beat this Avernus just using Zerglings. Didn't work last time. Avernus has now got a crap ton of roaches to repel any more attacks, although there are quite a lot of Dark Templars just sitting in this base, and now the migrating probes back to the probe line are in fact going to get hacked. This is going to be brutal. Spellixtain needs to move them out of there, lay down the scan and shoot them to pieces. Ooh, that was dangerous. His command center is on low health, but he can just lift that up and save it if he so desires. But it does look like these Dark Templars are going to go down thanks to the power of the Terran scan. Avernus is bringing some roaches to help, but massive economic damage there. There are still 2 Dark Templars in his base. Spellixtain now has no workers, and is going to just have to throw down the scan as soon as he has enough energy to save these roaches. 35. Lay down the scan, the roaches are going to have a field day, but if they get out of there, if the Dark Templars escape, then there's not going to be much he can do. The Dark Templars are now out of sight range. Spellixtain lifting all his buildings, so no more damage can be done, but I have a feeling that if that scan doesn't get laid down soon, it doesn't really matter, because the Protoss player with his Dark Templars is running free, completely going to destroy these 2 SCVs which have just spawned here. All the while just continuing to get more and more Dark Templars. I'm interested to see what our Zerg player down here is doing. Doesn't seem to be doing anything major at all, but a lot of roaches here. The Terran player actually flying into his allies' base, which is interesting. Okay, I wasn't really expecting to see that, because there are no minerals here. I mean, you can joint mine, but that will run out so quickly if you're trying to run 2 bases on 1 mineral patch. So right now he just seems to be floating his he's going to in fact lay down in this nice hidden gold expansion because of the nice reed bed here blocking his view, and it does seem that our first Zerg player Pro is having his 6-puller failed will obviously now be quite a lot behind on harvesters. If you look at it, he only has 14 compared to the other Zerg's 24, and that's with the other Zerg having been harassed crap tons by the Pro's Zerglings, so he now really needs to be playing catch up in economy. Our blue Protoss here has 29 probes, which is the most on the field by quite a few. His Dark Shrine is getting 2 more robotics facilities, is warping in 2 more gateways. Actually playing fairly well. This is, I forgot to mention, this is in fact a platinum level game. So actually I'm not overly impressed by Pro. He hasn't been as pro as his name would suggest he would be, and he is massively behind now and may just be paying the price. If we look at the income, he is miraculously level. I'm not quite sure why. He shouldn't be, he really shouldn't be, but he is he's managing to be more or less level, although look at how much gas he's getting in. So actually that's all on minerals, and he's only got one harvester on gas and only 1 gas total. So he's harvesting hardly any gas, and everything else is just on minerals, which is fine for minerals, but the second he tries to get anything higher tech out, he's going to be screwed. Spellixtain is saying to send some scouting links around,